This is the Sage Trout Reel, and it's Sage's full cage freshwater reel, and today I'm here to review it. The Sage Trout fits into the family of trout, trout spay, and now spay 2 reels from Sage. They're classic looking, they have full cages, and primarily they were designed for spay and trout spay applications. However, they were so popular that Sage decided to introduce a standard single hand variation as well. And that's why we have the trout. But it shares a lot of the same DNA with the trout spay and the spay, so if you've watched those videos, you probably already have everything you need to know. But if you haven't, let's get started with the drag. And the drag on this Sage Trout is really good. It's got the now standard on most Sage reels, single turn disc drag, and it is a very smooth, nice drag. If I had to guess, I'd say somewhere in the 4 to 5 pound range for drag strength, and that's going to be more than you need for any freshwater application, and definitely more than you need for any trout application. But more noticeably than the strength, I think, is the smoothness, and this just feels really, really smooth. It's also a fully sealed drag, so if you wanted to go out and use this in the salt, which I wouldn't necessarily recommend, theoretically you could, and you wouldn't encounter any issues. Up next is the spool, and we've got a 3.2 inch max diameter, a 0.9 inch width, and a 1.9 inch arbor. And that's going to yield a retrieval rate of about 6.8 inches per turn, which is sort of moderate for this 4.5/6 size. We've tested 5-weight reels that are, of course, a lot lower with traditional arbors, and ones that are way, way faster. If I were to put this in sort of a rank, I'd say it's the upper end of a mid arbor or the lower end of a true large arbor reel. This reel definitely does not look like a wagon wheel. It's got sort of that more classic aesthetic, definitely a smaller size. And that's the way it's designed, but the trade-off there, you're gonna get slower retrieve. In terms of backing capacity though, this reel has plenty. We've measured it at about 150 yards with your weight forward 5-weight, so more than you're ever gonna need for those freshwater fishing situations. Up next is weight, and it's definitely a little bit heavier, as you'd expect with a full cage reel. This reel comes in at a hair over 5.5 ounces, which is definitely on the beefier side for high-end freshwater reels. However, for full cage reels, it's not too bad, and definitely if you were putting this on a spay rod like the trout spay and the spay 2, it would be totally fine. However, as I mentioned, for this reel, I feel like it's a little heavy, and at this price point, it feels like it's too much. That said, this reel is equally about looks as it is about performance, so if you're buying it, chances are lightweight is not your primary concern. Next is going to be the sound, and well, let's take a listen. As you can see, it sounds pretty nice. It's definitely not the loudest reel out there, but it's fairly pleasing. It does feel like there is some small differentiation between the incoming and the outgoing, but not enough to really notice. I'd say if there was anything I were to change, it would be to make it a little bit louder, get a little bit more feedback, and maybe change that outgoing tone just a bit. Last but not least is ergonomics, and the ergonomics on this reel are pretty good. We've got a drag knob that's really easy to grab. Again, you only have 1 turn, so it is quite easy to dial in that drag and get that full performance out of it. On the handle side, it is a little bit narrower than I'd like, but gets the job done, totally fine for freshwater. And on the spool release knob, it's also nice and easy to grab. I like it. Overall, these are very solid ergonomics. So let's move on to the elephant in the room, which is the price. This reel retails for $400, and it's just a really expensive reel for what you get. This reel doesn't offer max performance or minimum weight, and it's just simply not the best at anything. It's just a blend of looks and performance and giving you that full cage. And I think when you consider all of those elements, plus the fact that it's made overseas, $400 just feels like a lot. But if money's no object, I do think this is a solid choice for some people. If you're looking for classic looks combined with moderately modern performance and a full cage for those spay Euro nymphing applications, This reel gets it done, and you're gonna get a great Sage warranty on top of it. Tell us what you think about this Sage Trout by leaving us a comment in the box below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We've got a lot of great reel reviews coming right up. And don't forget, if you've got questions, we've got answers. Give us a call at 888-413-5211 or email us 24/7 at support@tridentflyfishing.com. I'm Ben. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.